Hi, it's Marco, and in this video I will be telling you about the crowdlending platform Decamel that I recently heard about and I added it to my portfolio. It's a quite interesting platform because as more and more platforms these days, they actually are providing many types of investments on the same platform. So for example, here they actually propose projects like invoice financing that you can find on, for example, peer-to-peer lending platforms. They propose real estate projects, but also they allow you to access equity financing of companies. Those kind of projects were usually available on separate platforms, but it's really nice to see platforms like this that have all of them inside one platform. So that's why I really wanted to tell you about Decamel. As usual, we'll see what is the company, we'll see how is it actually safe to invest on this platform, what type of returns you get from the platform, and at the end, of course, we'll see how to actually invest, open an account, invest in some projects, and I will be telling you, of course, about my own returns and my own experience about Decamel. So let's get started by telling you about what is the platform. So Decamel, as I already mentioned, is a crowdlending platform that is based in Estonia, in Tallinn. They have been founded in 2021, but they really started to offer investments to investors on platform in 2023. So it's relatively recent platform. So as I mentioned before, they offer three types of projects on the platform. So you have the more classical, let's say, invoice financing, which you can find on other peer-to-peer lending platforms as well. You have real estate projects that also you can usually find on dedicated platforms that really only specialize in real estate. And you can also find equity crowdfunding in companies and startups, which again, I usually found only on specialized platforms. So it's really nice here already to see that they offer a mix of different project types in the crowdlending space, and that will really allow investors on the platform to instantly get a very diversified portfolio by investing in many types of projects. So as I mentioned before already, the platform is quite new. However, you can already note here that they are working with well-known partners like Untitled for the verification of the customer's identity or Landstream as well, which are platforms that I see on many other peer-to-peer lending platforms, for example. So I can already tell they are working with well-known partners here. Let's now talk about the topic of returns. It's always my first point I get into when I do a review of a new platform. What can you actually get from investing on the platform? So they actually claim that you can get from 8 to 14% on average on the platform, depending, of course, on which project you invest in. They also claim that you can get up to 18% yield on some projects that will come in the future. What I saw in my own experience when I was browsing the platform and checking projects, you can actually get, at the moment, around 13% returns with the projects that are actually on the platform, which I would say it's in the higher brackets when it comes to similar crowdlending platforms. So that's already a good point here. So now let's talk about the fundamental point of the security and safety of investors' funds on the platform. As I already mentioned, this is something that I really care about, and I always take a lot of time to actually explore this aspect on every platform I review. So here, as usual, we'll see that into 3 points. First, we'll see what is the security measures taken by the platform to make sure that the funds of investors are safe. Then we'll talk about the company itself, the company that is actually behind the platform. And at the end, we'll also talk about where the projects that are on the platform are actually coming from, because that's usually the highest source of risk. So first, the platform itself. So Decamel on the platform, of course, the risk that you take with the platforms is coming directly from the project. So we'll talk about that in a moment. They actually have either a guarantee or a collateral coming with every project that is on the platform. So that's already a good thing for investors. As I mentioned before, they are quite new. However, for example, for all the cash flow on the platform, they're using a provider called Kevin, which is a company that is also used by a lot of other big names in the field. So definitely a good point here as well. They also have a quite strict know your customer process that I will also mention when I talk more about how to use the platform, but that's definitely also a good point here as well, because it means that we follow all the rules in the field. In terms of license, they don't have one yet, but they actually applied to get the European crowdfunding license, and by talking to the CEO, I actually learned that they should get it by early 2024 latest. So probably they will get it before, but latest it should be early 2024. Now let's talk actually about the team and the company which is behind this platform. So Decamel is a company registered in Tallinn, Estonia. As for all the companies that I review, I actually checked that they actually are registered on the official company registry, and they actually are. So that's all the good news here. I also checked the team that is behind the company. So for example, I checked the profile of the CEO, Dmitry Pavlov, and I could see directly that he has a lot of experience in the field. For example, he was the head of Intelligent Lending at a bank for over 13 years, so definitely he has experience in the field of lending. So therefore, everything checks out on the company side, and definitely a good company run by competent people here. So now, in terms of the origin of projects, there are different type of projects on the platform, as I already mentioned, and therefore all those projects have to be analyzed separately. So in case of the real estate projects, you have projects on the platform that have a quite low LTV. So LTV is loan to value, meaning that if this is low, it means that there will be enough money to give back to investors in case something goes wrong with the project. So having low LTV is definitely a very good point here on this platform. Sometimes those real estate projects also come with personal guarantees from the owner of the project, so this is an additional security for investors. For the other projects, the equity crowdfunding projects, well, of course, you have the risks that come with investing in an early stage company, but that's the case with every platform in the field. That's just the risk you have to take to get higher potential returns here. They also have a very strict process to actually put those projects on the platform, so a very strict due diligence process that again is here to guarantee that the projects on the platform will be safe to invest in by investors. So here I would say that definitely everything checks out for me in terms of safety of the funds of investors on the platform. Now let's actually see how to use it, how to use this platform Decamel. So the first step is to actually create an account. So that was very easy. It was done under 5 minutes. Of course, as for all platforms now, you have this automated verification of your identity. Here it was actually done with a company called Indentomat, which I found on other platforms as well. It's one of my favorites because it actually works. And the whole process was very fast. And again, as I said before, under 5 minutes, it was all good and everything was verified. Once this is done, you can actually start using the platform. And the first step is, of course, to deposit money on the platform. Here, it was possible to do via a simple bank transfer. And I had no problem with that at all. And once this is done, you can actually start browsing projects. So remember, this is a quite new platform. So at the time I was recording this video, there was only 2 projects available on the platform. One real estate project and also one equity crowdfunding project that was available for investment. So let's use a real estate project as an example here. So it was really easy to actually get some information about this project. Just click on it and you will see all the information about the project, for example, the expected return, the term of the project, and also where it is, and all the financial data about the project. So once you actually want to invest in a project, it's very simple. You just put how much you want to invest in this particular project and just validate your investment. So note here that the minimum depends on the type of the project. It's just from 10 euros for real estate projects, and up to 500 euros minimum if you want to invest in equity for crowdfunding projects. So I would say that the first minimum is really low, which is really nice to diversify. It's a bit higher, I would say, than the usual range for equity crowdfunding projects, but that's also nothing that's too much out there. So definitely minimum of investment that are in range with what other platforms are doing. Note that for now, there is no secondary market or auto-invest function on Decamel because, again, it's a very new company. They don't have a lot of projects, so I'm sure it will definitely come in the future as there are more projects on the platform. So now to finish, let's talk about my own returns and my own experience about the platform. So of course, having just started to invest on the platform in 2023, it's a bit too early to talk about long-term returns. So far, I can say that everything went great with the platform. I just invested in one real estate project on the platform, and of course, I will make an update video in the future about my own returns. And also I will update my blog post that I have on my site about the platform. But overall, what I can say about Decamel, it's a very interesting crowdlending company because I think the first time I saw on one platform a mix of all the type of projects you will usually find on different platforms, like invoice financing, investing in real estate projects, and also investing in equity crowdfunding in companies and startups. All on one platform, so really giving investors a lot of diversification from one platform. The platform provides high yields, there is a great team behind the platform, and also it's very easy to use. So for example, if you're a beginner, it might be a good platform to consider because you will have this instant diversification from investing in many projects. What I would like to see more on the platform or different, well, of course, more projects, but that's a new platform, so that's what you can expect. It was the same, I remember, for all platforms that I currently have on my portfolio. Also, I'd love to see more functions like to invest function, secondary market to actually get out of investments if needed. But I'm sure that will come in the future. So definitely a platform that I recommend to try. If you want to learn more about Decamel and just try it out, I put links just below the video. You will find a link, for example, to my own website where you can find a more detailed review about Decamel. You will also find a link directly to their website if you just want to learn more about the platform and maybe sign up to just explore the projects that are currently available. That being said, if you have any questions or comments about Decamel or investing in general, don't hesitate to leave them below the video. And that being said, thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.